Bianca, have you ever stood in the way of your own happiness?
Yeah. That was pretty much my teenage years. I don't know what else to tell you about that, but I try to stop myself from doing it from every now and then again. I'm a mom now, so my happiness doesn't come first, I think. I got that dish. I got that dish. Dish. I got that dish. I got that dish.
Hey y'all, it's Onika.
And it's your girl Bianca.
And you are dishing with Dainty Dish. So we're trying something a little different today. I have my sister Bianca on the mic with me. I'm very excited about this co-host opportunity.
Hello.
Hello, say hello.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so, we're just trying something a little different, seeing how it works out. So, Bianca, the question at the top of the hour was, do you ever, sabotage your own happiness?
Yeah, I've been doing it since I was a teenager, like I told you. And now I have 2 kids, so my happiness doesn't really come first, I think. That's just the reality of it, though. I mean, I have 2 bodies to care about before my own. It's just mom logic.
Mom logic. Well, before we talk about the topic of the hour, I want to go over some interesting news stories that I've seen in mental health.
Let's do it.
Do you know Canada Life, the Manulife, Sun Life people, the insurance company?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. I do.
Why does there sound like a story behind that?
There is a story behind that, but I mean, I do know them on a personal level. I've had a meeting with them.
You've had a meeting?
I have kids, so I mean, I have to have the RESP, saving plan thing going. So I've had a meeting with them or 2. I know them personally. I'm a client.
Okay. Well, they've announced their support for mental health through art therapy.
Oh.
They're doing art and music therapy with Art Hive of the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts. And they're also supporting projects for 15 to 24-year-olds who are trying to find themselves in the art world.
Okay.
And they also have mental health concerns as well, are kind of giving a rebirth to an art movement.
And now, is this every art? Are we inclusive of everything? Are they?
I think it's all mediums of art, and I think it's including music. So it's their way to reintroduce themselves into society.
So be reborn through art, basically.
Be reborn through art.
I like it. I like it.
So they're funding that. I think that's pretty cool.
I approve.
You approve? Okay. This one you might not approve of though.
Oh.
It's an opinion piece, and
okay.
I'm of the same ilk.
Oh.
I said ilk.
Oh, okay.
Insane asylum themed house should be condemned. So right outside of Kamloops, BC, there is a person who has built an insane asylum haunted house. Yeah.
If that's not grabbing life by the balls, I don't know what is.
It seriously is they're out of pocket. Really, they're out of pocket because the quote in the article was, mental illness is not spooky, creepy, funny, or a form of entertainment. I just don't understand why people don't get that.
So what is, so who said that it's not a form of entertainment?
Oh, this woman, Megan Nichols.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the people who made it because I'm isn't that redundant then?
No, they're saying it's not a form of entertainment. It's not funny. It's not creepy. It's not spooky. It's not that's not what mental illness is.
Listen, they've already made movies based on insane asylums. So they've made it entertainment. So I mean, I guess for some, what's not right for all might be right for some. Could we agree? I don't think it's a good idea.
I don't know. I feel like
subject?
It's a touchy subject. It's
okay.
I don't even participate in Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even a Halloween participant.
No.
So I don't know why it's bugging me so much, but I feel like, you know what? No.
It's
you
like,
get a
you know
yellow
what it
card.
is? You know what it is? It's like how, and forgive me for all our listeners, but it's like how people now are a little bit more touchy with the indigenous costumes and the blackface thing when it comes to Halloween. So it goes all around. It doesn't just stop.
We're not trying to be buzzkills.
No.
Like, we're not trying to kill the fun.
Have fun. You know what? Now that you're saying about the insane asylum haunted house, though, I've heard of ones that like you have to sign waivers before you go in because it's so like creepy and like they basically assault you in the haunted house. Like,
wow.
And they get your permission to do it. So like it's not far fetched. Like, who knows what's next? So
I don't know what's going on in
pushing the
BC.
envelope.
I don't know what's going on in BC, but we need to. This one was a really interesting one for me. Mm-hmm. Mental health toll of skin condition gets overlooked by doctors. So the toll of having a skin condition like acne getting overlooked by your dermatologist or your doctor as a mental health issue. Like, hold on.
If you're a teenager?
If you're a grown person too. Like acne.
I guess, okay.
Acne is just, according to Anjali Mato, who's a dermatologist, she said acne is associated with depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, poor body image, bullying, shame, exclusion in the workplace, and even suicidal ideations. Like, don't you remember that person that had a really bad acne
in high school?
Or
like even like as an adult? It's just almost as equivalent to like that person that wore braces as an adult. Like, you felt a way about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess like maybe they said overlooked.
Yeah, they overlook it. They don't treat it as if like you should have a mental health concern over having acne. Like, it's just a cosmetic thing. So you shouldn't feel like emotions about it.
Okay. I think when it goes to, when you chalk it up to childhood, just regular acne and stuff like that, like, sure, you might be able to be like, it's just not a cosmetic thing, but just a personal thing, a personal preference that you don't like your skin looking that way. But like when you're an adult and you've been dealing with it as a teen and getting bullied with it as a teen into adult years, because it doesn't change. Like, adults are gonna look at you like, ew, you have acne. Not saying anybody that has acne is ew, forgive me, but I'm just saying, like, like someone might feel that way, so it can contribute. Like, that's a fair, like, it's a fair mental health issue. Because like I've known people that have had acne as teens that have grown out of it and their skin's flawless. Like, you'd never know they had acne as a teen. But then I know other ones that like they've had acne and they still do have, blemishes. Well, and it might take a toll.
It's not like I wouldn't consider it like a mental health illness so much.
It's not an illness.
No, it's more of a concern
issue. Yeah,
or an issue.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
I would even say. And they were saying also in the article that I read that there's some medications that cause things like suicidal ideation, depression, and anxiety that people take for acne. So doctors have to always consider that as well.
Yeah.
Like the kind of medication you're put on for that stuff.
Most definitely.
Yeah, the side effects.
It's like those commercials you see, when it's like, oh, cure this, but may cause anal bleeding. Or like may give you a stroke, like something ridiculous. Like, I want to fix my acne. I don't want to die in the process, type of thing. So
exactly
fair,
I thought that was interesting. This is a cute story.
Oh, okay. This
guy's homemade gift for his girlfriend with anxiety is so darn sweet. So this is what this guy did. Her name is Denisha Bracey of Halifax, Nova Scotia. Over the course of the summer, she was suffering with anxiety attacks and, high anxiety. And so her boyfriend, Riley Rankin, decided for their second anniversary to make a pill bottle of love. Like, so basically it's a bottle of pills. It's a bottle. Hold on. Let me get to it.
Okay.
It's a bottle of capsules, and in each capsule has a note that's either sweet or loving.
So are these big enough capsules that she won't accidentally swallow?
Well, no, you could tell there's rolled up paper in the capsule, but there's something in it that's not drugs. Like, okay. You could tell.
Do they have children?
It's clear. I don't know that much about them. They're only on their second anniversary, so it's possible. I'm not sure.
All right, that's cute. That's cute.
Like, some of the quotes were, "You should have been Miss Universe because damn." Isn't that cute? You should have been Miss Universe because damn.
Hey.
Be proud of yourself. You're amazing. Think of all the things you've accomplished. Like, just cute, sweet little things like that to help her with her anxiety.
Why'd you have to make it in the size of a little pill capsule? It's pretty. I hope she has great eyesight, because if that was me, you'd have to write me a letter.
No, they're legible. They're legible. They're legible.
All right, if you say so.
And this last story will lead into our topic of the day. 13 signs you may be self-sabotaging in your therapy sessions.
Oh.
Now, I'm not going to go through all 13 because they weren't necessarily all relevant to me when I read it.
Fair.
I'm just going to talk about 5 of them.
Okay.
So, frequently late or cancel session. I have been notorious for this.
Okay.
Like, I will call in sick. I will cancel.
Anything
to escape going to a session. I'm much better with it in the last couple of years, but like back in the day, it was one of those just no show, late show.
I didn't have those type of options. I wish I had those options to no show or late show. I got driven.
You got driven. I forgot Mom drove.
There was no late shows for my stuff.
No, I'm guilty of it. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
You're not doing what your therapist tells you to do outside of the room. So your homework. Nobody likes homework. Nobody likes homework in therapy.
I just posted that on Instagram.
That nobody likes homework.
That I'm like, I do not miss school at all. Like, the assignments, the homework, for why?
Like,
for why?
Nobody likes homework.
Not at all.
So, I rarely, like, if I was assigned a book reading or like something like any kind of paperwork, I would just kind of just skip it.
You're already giving me a headache. I can't even do those things. No. Not saying you shouldn't. You definitely should if you get those assignments.
You should do them. You use therapy solely to vent. So sometimes you just want to spew. Sometimes you don't want advice. You don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear that I'm wrong. Yeah, you don't want to hear that you're wrong. You don't want to hear that you're right. You just want to sit there and talk and get it out of your system like verbal diarrhea. And then just take a woosah. And take a woosah.
Woosah.
You omit details that make you look bad. Now, this is when I did this one, I specifically remember when. Because
let's pause for a second. You specifically remember when? Because there's multiple times that I could attest to. But let's go.
All right. Anything that has to do with dad. Anything that has to do with dad, I basically omit me being the bad wrong party versus him being the wrong party. Anything to do with dad.
Ding, 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 ding. I could attest.
You could attest. You're a witness.
Exactly. So let's ding, 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 ding.
This one's a bit of a confession to all my therapists out there that are listening.
This sounds like it's going to be some hot.
You rely on substances to get through your sessions. I used to rely heavily on marijuana to get through my sessions back in the day. Like, heavily. Like, half the time I was zoned out.
Like, even sometimes the thought of therapy just sounds, it's just
it's daunting.
It's daunting. Your anxiety races. You don't want to have to go talk to somebody and stuff like that. So I could see that happening. But you've learned from that, so.
Yeah, I've learned from my mistakes.
Exactly.
My self-sabotaging ways, especially in therapy. But it wasn't always the case. And I just want to give a quick definition of self-sabotage so we're all on the same page.
Please do.
It's when you create unnecessary problems for yourself, getting in the way of your goals and desires, usually without being aware you're doing it. So to damage, to undermine, and to derail.
Okay,
those are the key things with self-saboteurs.
Ooh.
In my mental illness, I would say probably at the very, very beginning of it, I was sabotaging a lot, self-sabotaging a lot. Like, I was doing things like not taking my medication. I didn't know, like, dick all about bipolar. I didn't know what it was. I wouldn't claim it.
Thought you were above it, basically.
I thought I was above it all. And I didn't need, to exhibit self-care, take care of myself. Like,
it was new.
It was very new, and
within yourself and within the family.
Thank you. And things like taking medication, that was completely foreign to me. Like, I didn't understand that taking the medication would lead to my recovery. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's the part that I didn't get. That's the part that I wouldn't acknowledge, right? Yeah. And educating myself about it would make it real. Mm-hmm. It would make it completely real to me, and I wasn't ready to face that at all.
Yeah.
And self-care, well, that fell by the wayside just simply because of, the destructiveness of the disease.
Yeah.
Right?
It's kind of hard to do that while, you're manic.
Yeah, so the person that I was when I was sick is far different than the person that I am now, I would consider. And I was talking to cousin Nikki earlier, and she's like, you have to take pride in where you are now. Like doing the research for this self-sabotage episode, I realized, and we'll get to the tests in a minute.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For sure. I realized how much I still self-sabotage. And maybe it's because I can't reconcile the identity of like that sick person to the successful person that I am now. Like maybe I don't see it, right?
Yeah. It's almost like blocking it out, like consciously, just all the bad. Like, as you said before, like, omitting the bad parts of yourself when telling a story. But like,
yeah. Like it's, I think now it's more refusing to see the good, right?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the good in the things that I'm doing or the good in myself sometimes, and that's hard.
I feel that way all the time, especially as a mother. Like sometimes it's like there's not enough time in the day, or like even though you do everything under the sun, like you still don't get anything done, and it's like you just don't give yourself credit for what you do. Yeah, so I can completely see that.
And consistently undermining yourself like this, like through self-sabotage, it's a form of self-harm, and we don't even realize it. We think things like cutting or the physical hurt is worse than the mental pain. Like you're psychologically self-harming yourself when you're sabotaging your own success and your own happiness.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, what a lot of people don't realize is that you can't look for what would the proper word be? You can't look for validation in other people. You have to validate yourself. So that comes from, taking a look in the mirror and just knowing that, like, I am doing everything that I possibly can, and like, just being more aware mentally of what you do and say to yourself. So
that's a big thing, negative self-talk.
Yeah.
It's key. Like, you tell yourself you're not worthy, that you're not deserving.
Yep.
That you're never going to get to, where you want to be. You have that constant critic in your head telling you you're not good enough.
Yeah. And sometimes like people also fail to acknowledge that some of that self-doubt and that self-sabotage streams from somewhere. It comes from something. Unfortunately, for some people it's from their family. Some people it's from their friends. Some people it's from their surroundings. Like they're put in situations where they don't get the not the recognition, but like they don't get the feeling that they're doing anything right. Because I don't want to, like, it's just, that's just how it is. We were just talking about that the other day. Remember, I'm like, I feel like I'm not doing anything when I do everything. Like, what is wrong with me? That. I'm like, why can't you just tell me I'm doing a good job? You're like, you're doing a great job. I'm like, it's not good enough.
It's not good enough. I want more.
I want more.
I want more validation.
I want more validation where I should be validating myself. So it's really a thing. Like,
and it's a lot of it stems from, low self-esteem too.
Exactly.
you think of yourself in a certain way, and it's hard to change that behavior, that thought. Like I said, if you think you're not worth it, or you don't deserve success, you know, some people even go so far as, you know, feel self-hatred. You're always going to self-sabotage.
Exactly.
Like, you're never going to get out of that rut where your success is like standing there right in front of you and you could just reach out and grab it and take it for yourself. Like, you're going to stay stuck in...
Stay downing yourself. Yeah. Stay pulling yourself back. 1 step forward, 2 steps back type of mentality. Yeah.
But for some people, though, it's about control, too. Because I know... if I'm procrastinating on something, like, and I wait to the last minute, like when I was in high school, I used to procrastinate on my homework, or like college, I'd procrastinate on my assignments. And then I swoop in and I do like 48 hours straight, just up doing my work.
But don't act like it wasn't phenomenal. Don't act like it wasn't phenomenal. Cause I did that too, and it was phenomenal.
And that's the thing, it comes out phenomenal. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it comes out like you just shit a gold nugget. Like,
right. You know, like them kids that started 3 weeks back. I was in the running. You were in the running. It was okay.
Yeah, like you think you've done something great, and that's a part of self-sabotage. And you procrastinate, and then you think you've come out with this victory.
Shh! Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody.
You rescue the situation, and you feel this burst of self-confidence, like, I could do anything, I could do it all.
I'm Captain Save Myself. Would you hear?
Captain Save Yourself. What do you think about this statement?
Hold on. Which statement would that be?
I'm afraid of 2 things equally: success and failure.
Ooh. Who? See,
I read it in an article, and I tried to Google.
I'm like, did Gandhi say that? That sounds really deep.
I tried to Google who said it, but it just a bunch of failure quotes came up, and I'm like, no, this is not what I'm looking for. So,
anonymous, it shall be. So repeat that one again.
I'm afraid of 2 things equally: success and failure.
That's deep. It's true, though.
It's a truth bomb.
It's
a truth bomb. Like, I feel like I felt that way before, too. Like, because when you're successful, like, when you fail, you got nothing to lose.
Yes.
Right? Like, you've got nothing to lose. You failed. Maybe you feel a little
You could
guilt,
fail 10 times.
Shame. But nothing really changes in your life. Like, you're a failure, right?
Yeah.
That's who you are. That's what you've always done. That's what you've always been, right? And
that's self-sabotage, though. You can't have that mentality.
I know
but
that's self-sabotage, but I'm saying, like, if that's who you've always... Because you're self-sabotaging. It's who you've always been, what you've always done. So now you get a piece of success. And this is the thing I was saying about the sick person versus the successful person. Like, there's a mourning period that you go through between being sick and successful, or being failure to success.
Yeah, of course.
Because you're mourning the loss of that comfort zone of you.
Your ego, like, thinking that you could do something, and then, Yeah.
Like, you're mourning the loss of that comfort zone, and that area where you're comfortable. You're comfortable in your failure.
Your box.
Your little box, your little ticky-tack house, right? So, then you succeed at something, and now all of a sudden you got something to lose.
Yeah, and that something's everything because of how long you waited for that something.
Yeah. So what you gonna do? Like, are you gonna, like, stay in that failure ticky-tack house, or are you gonna, like, move towards success? But in doing either one, you fear both equally.
Yeah. But I think fear is good. Fear brings on change. No?
Yeah.
So it truly is a choice when it comes to that, but being equally afraid of both is fair. That's human. That's human, because if you're not equally afraid of both, that means that you haven't thought of every angle. You haven't assessed every like
possible situation.
Yeah, possible scenario. Yeah, okay, you've been failing for 10 years straight and you got this little bit of success. You're going to be cocky with that success and just feel like, oh, if I lose it tomorrow, I'll be fine. Like, you're going to be fearful of failing again, and you're going to be fearful of keeping the success.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a deep, and it's anonymous. That sounds like a tattoo, though. Could we be honest? Like, for a second, like it sounds like someone would tattoo on them. Like,
I might tattoo that on me.
Oh my Lord.
I might. You know me in tattoos.
Oh my gosh.
You know me in tattoos. I might take that one and make it into a daintyism.
Yep.
Ways you might be self-sabotaging.
Ooh. I guarantee I at least have half of these ways.
I think I got a couple of them.
Yeah.
Distraction being one of them. Anything to do with avoiding being in the present moment. So drinking, getting high, binge eating, binging Netflix, or being busy 24/7.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you have an excuse to be distracted. You've got kids. But do you use your kids as a distraction?
No, honestly, I want to be like right now, yeah, you do use my kids as a distraction, but I don't. I honestly don't. Like, some days I wake up thinking like, okay, it's going to be a simple day and like I can get through it because I always get through it, but like things just pop up. Like things just randomly pop up and keep me distracted. Like, for instance, this weekend, I got to knock out making myself breakfast. That is unheard of. Okay?
Feels like I'm on making breakfast.
I was ecstatic to make myself breakfast this weekend. Like, and I had all of probably like 5 minutes to eat it because the little one woke up. Like, am I making her out to be a bad person? No. But she's a distraction, so...
She's a distraction all of her own.
She's a distraction all on her own, and I got 2, so, like, come on.
This one is one of my favorites. Procrastination.
Procrastination
when we
is
put
key.
Things off... when we put off things, that would move us forward... what we want, like towards what we want, because we are scared of failure or scared of the uncertainty of doing something different. I didn't know procrastination meant all that. I thought it just meant you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing at the time.
What you're supposed to be doing, and you do it last, late.
You're supposed to be doing it at.
I procrastinate every day of my life.
Every day is a procrastination.
Every day is procrastination. You know how long I've been saying my YouTube's going up.
Okay, Cardi.
Yeah, procrastination is key sometimes, though. You do some of your best work when you procrastinate.
That's what I think.
Like,
we're having the same thing right now.
Listen. You do. And I dare someone to debate it right now. You do.
Some of the best.
It
doesn't make it a good thing, though.
Okay, never. It's not just... It's a choice.
It's a choice that you make that is probably the wrong choice.
Everything.
Because had you been more prepared, you probably would have been better off.
Everything is a choice.
So, avoiding. Avoiding is not showing up for others or yourself. When I read this, I was like, really? Like, showing up for others or yourself. I'm like, okay.
Oh, I mean, you gotta show up for yourself sometimes.
Like,
what do you mean?
I'm gonna avoid the sentence.
You can't avoid the sentence. Come on, don't self-sabotage in the middle of the episode. What's wrong with you? But no, I avoid all the time. You know the biggest...
Your whole life is an avoidance.
Like, you know what? First of all, bring it back. Don't judge. Okay?
I'm not judging you.
Nice words. But, like, yeah, man. I guess I self-sabotage my life away right now. It's kind of sad.
Avoiding as long as I've known you.
Like, why you gotta be Yanla right now? Why are you trying to fix my life right now?
Ilanya, I can't fix your life. I can't fix your self-sabotaging life. But as long as you don't do the next one, giving up, which means you quit. You psyched yourself out and convinced yourself that you'll end up in a negative outcome. So you may as well give up now.
Are you kidding me? I give up like 3 times a week.
You can't give up, man. No. That's not a good thing.
I give up like 3 times a week.
It's the ultimate self-sabotage is giving up.
Oh, come on.
You have to just keep
Of course
pushing.
I keep going, but I'm just telling you, like, I give up 3 times a week. I'd be like, I'm over this. I'm going to sleep at least 3 times a week. Come on.
Dwelling on the past.
Oh.
When you use your past as evidence of how your future will be. So just because you made mistakes in the past does not necessarily mean you're doomed to repeat them in the future. But if you do the same stuff you've always done, you're going to get the same stuff you always got.
I did that for years. Like, who is this? Why are you reading into my life? I don't like this. Like, and sometimes it's not even just you dwelling on your past. It's the people around you dwelling on your past. Because, the saying goes, like, don't judge a book by its cover. But people always tend to judge you by the things that you do, even if you change,
That's true.
So is that just bound to self-sabotage or sabotage in general? Question.
I don't know the answer to that question.
You could have tried, at least.
I'm going to say... it's self-sabotage.
Both.
When you dwell on the past. It's definitely self-sabotage because it's not getting you anywhere. You're not, like, if you're bound to do something that you're supposed to be doing, like dwelling on what happened to you 100 years ago is not going to be relevant to your situation, like, in the current moment.
That's true, but listen, we live in a society where everybody likes to say that the history repeats itself. So,
yeah, that's like on a societal level, and history can repeat itself on a personal level. That's what I was saying. Like, if you always do what you always did, you're always gonna get what you always got. Like, that's a saying. I don't know who said it. I know it's a saying. I've seen it somewhere before, but that's the redundancy of dwelling on the past.
It's true.
Feeling sorry for yourself is another one. Wallowing in self-pity gets you nowhere, which is exactly the point of self-sabotage. So feeling sorry for yourself, there's no point in doing that.
No. That's why when anybody asks me in the elevator, like, how are you doing today? I'll be like, I'm fine, can't complain, because who would listen?
You do not say that to people.
No, I'm being so serious. I say that at least once a day. When people ask me, like, who, like, can't complain.
People in mom and dad's apartment.
Like, yeah, can't complain. If I did, who would listen?
Who would listen?
Like, nobody. They might listen and be like, and like, candid banter, like, oh, no. Like, you don't care.
People don't really care.
Exactly, so.
They don't care. Not taking 100% responsibility for your life. Are you being the victim of your life? This is, to me, one of the worst ones and worst aggressions that I have ever done. Is not taking 100% responsibility for my life.
Really?
I played the victim and I played the blame game for so many years, and it got me
nowhere.
Yeah. It got me sad. It got me depressed. It got me anxious. But when I started taking responsibility for myself and the choices that I was making, the things that I was doing, and who I chose to spend my time with versus who not to spend my time with, or, who to give myself, a little piece of me to, I realized, this is what taking responsibility for your life looks like.
It's funny because a lot of people think that taking responsibility for their life is like this hard, draining, like, thing. When it really isn't. It's actually quite freeing when you take responsibility for your life. Like, I was unhappy for years. let's not touch on why. We all know why. But I was unhappy for years. And until I took responsibility for my life and took myself out of that situation, like, I was miserable. Now, I ain't miserable. That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem. So,
not asking for help when you need it. This is a key one. I don't ask for help.
For what?
Like,
help for what?
For anything in life. Just anything you're struggling with or you're going through. Just if you need help, support.
No, another saying that I have, I rather suffer in silence. I'd rather suffer in silence. Like, and it is not healthy to want to suffer in silence. But with certain aspects that we got, sometimes you gotta suffer in silence. Because if you don't suffer in silence, everybody gonna know your business.
It's so true. So true.
You gotta pick and choose your battles with that one. But
last way you may be self-sabotaging yourself. That's so weird to say, self-sabotaging yourself.
Yeah.
But it's grammatically correct.
It is.
Perfectionism. You tell yourself you can't take action until the right time or believe you need to have the perfect skill before you move forward.
This is in my DNA. This is in my
both
DNA.
our DNAs.
We got that Capricorn Virgo blood.
Yeah.
We got that Capricorn Virgo blood. Perfectionist is in our description when you go and look at our zodiacs. And I'm not even a big zodiac believer, but sometimes when I read that, I'll be like, yo, I don't consider myself a perfectionist, but like I do that. Like I do self-sabotage through perfection. Like I remember in high school, I used to be that kid that like when I wrote notes, and you know sometimes your hand gets tired. So like I'd write notes and then it would get sloppy halfway through and I'd have to rewrite the whole thing. Like I'd crumple up the paper and rewrite the whole thing. Like I used to, like I couldn't.
You couldn't stand it.
I couldn't stand it. Because then when I went back to read my notes, it just looked ugly to me.
That's weird.
It is, but I chalk it up to being a perfectionist, even if it's not through my whole life. But like that, I remember specifically. I always recall that when people are like, "Oh, perfectionist," like so.
I don't know. I feel like I'm the person who's like, I need to have that skill like completely perfect before I make an attempt to do anything. You know, I have to like hone.
Everything down packed.
Everything has to be down pat. Everything has to be in line, in order. Like the star
to
have to be aligned. The moon has to be at the right temperature. Like, I'm just off the wall when it comes to perfectionism.
Can't be too hot. Can't be too cold.
Can't be too hot.
Can't be too bright.
Cold.
Can't be too dark.
Yeah, it has to be just the perfect
right.
time. That's what I say about my writing, actually. That's what's happened.
Okay, Goldilocks.
I self-sabotage with my writing a lot, I think, when it comes to, like, because I want everything, every word, every detail to be completely perfect.
But you know something? What's not perfect for you might be perfect for other people. That's the weird thing.
I know. I have to really get on that. I've been self-sabotaging probably in that respect for a couple of months now.
Yeah. Just chalk it up to writer's block. It's okay.
It's writer's block. So how can we defeat self-sabotaging behavior? You have to recognize that you're self-sabotaging your own happiness. So awareness. To release a problem, we must first become aware of it. Acceptance is the first step to stopping self-sabotage. So accepting that you have a problem.
I accept.
You accept? Oh!
My name's Bianca and I'm a self-sabotager.
Okay, we'll talk about the test afterwards.
Oh my gosh.
Identify the ways you self-sabotage. So, like, the behaviors that you engage in, like, when you self-sabotage, like, when I say I want to lose 20 pounds, but I eat at 2 a.m. Just whatever strikes my fancy at 2 a.m.
Whether it be a donut or a full course meal.
I'm eating at 2 a.m. Yep. But I want to lose 20 pounds.
Oh, definitely.
Right? Yeah. So
Definitely.
I go to the gym twice a week. But I also eat 3 donuts for breakfast.
And that equates to...
I'm losing it pound by pound. Just get off of me, okay?
That's okay.
Understanding why you are self-sabotaging. So this one is a lot easier said than done, I think.
Well, if you are true to yourself and honest with yourself, you could know why you self-sabotage.
No, I'm still in denial.
Girl, get it together.
I'm still, because I can't for the life of me figure out why I do it. I think it's because I fear failure as much as I fear success.
Which I could say, yeah, that's probably true.
It's probably true. That's facts.
Probably true. That's facts.
So we took a BuzzFeed quiz, not like for serious, just to see like who was more of a self-sabotager than who.
Oh my gosh.
So
can you guess?
It was you, wasn't it? Wasn't it you? Hold on, I'm gonna pull out my picture.
Oh my gosh. Let's pull up the screenshots. Let's pull out the proof. Let's pull out the receipts.
It says you kind of do self-sabotage more than the average person.
Yep, I got that too. Okay,
49%.
I got 58%.
58%, girl. You better get on that.
Listen, at least it's not in the high 60s or 70s.
Yeah, then you'd have serious problems.
Yeah.
You're just like an average self-sabotager.
I'm an average self-sabatager. I'm just above half, okay?
Just average. I'm below average.
I've never heard you be so proud to say that about anything in your life. I'm just below average.
For the self-sabotaging quiz. Everything else I'm above average.
Oh, yeah, definitely. For sure. Yeah.
Anyways, if you guys want to tell us some stories about self-sabotaging, any times you've done it or you need some advice, I don't know how much advice me and Bianca can give you, but we'll try our very best because we're not sabotaging ourselves today.
We are coming to terms with our self-sabotaging.
We're coming to terms with it. And if you want to come to terms with it with us, this is how you can reach us. So it's dysh, DYSH, at daintydysh.com. That's DYSH at DAINTYDYSH.com. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, give us a 5. You deserve a 5. If you're listening to us on any other platform, thank you so much for listening, subscribe, and liking us. Bianca, did you want to say hi to anybody real quick?
Just shout out my girls.
Hey, they're listening.
Don't self-sabotage, babes.
Anyways, with that said, that has been the dish of the day, and I hope y'all have yourselves a very, very, very happy hump day.